time for another mobile game called Double Dodgers. Looks like a really simplistic mobile game, so let's have a look. So what can we learn from Double Dodgers? As always, let's start with the positives. And also allow me to rotate the screen. This is not how it's supposed to look, but we can fill more space off the screen, so let's do it. First of all, it's a very mobile-friendly game concept. You just have those two dots and they automatically move to the right or up. And you can stop them by pressing your finger on the screen. They also have a maximum distance from each other, so you need to keep going with both dots. You cannot keep going with just one of them, because then the one at the front will just stop. And as I've said, I think this is a very mobile-friendly game concept. It's very easy to control, it's very easy to get into, so that point is definitely well done. Do that in your own games if you make a mobile game. These simplistic minimalist control scheme games seem to do really well. Next up, let's have a look at the look of the game. I think it has a very characteristic look. If I saw this somewhere, I would definitely recognize it. I would be like, oh, I know that game, that is Double Dodgers. So good job on that. I also think it doesn't look that bad. For an abstract style, I think it's a pretty solid one. Looks really neat. And also have a look at the UI. That too looks really cool. So if you create a mobile game, don't be afraid to use an abstract art style. There are a lot of mobile games that prove that this can work. Don't expect that to be any easier though. It's still really hard. Or at least if you want to create a good one. This right here is certainly not perfect, but yeah, I would say it's a good one. I don't only like the UI because it looks good, but also because it's very minimalistic. It's a very well designed UI. I know what all of the buttons do. The icons are really well chosen. It's stylized, but I still know what everything does, so that's perfect. And there are not too many buttons. There are some minimalistic games that have absolutely cluttered UIs. This is very good right here. Everything that is there has a right to be there. There are no unnecessary elements on the screen. Everything's just reduced to the bare minimum of what you need. So if you make a casual mobile game, please keep your UI simple. There's absolutely no need to confuse your players with that. And in case you're creating a more complicated game that requires a more complicated UI, just think about maybe unlocking parts of the UI, just like in a tutorial, not everything at once, but one thing after another, so the player can get used to your UI and can learn the UI and isn't instantly overwhelmed. But if you can, just keep it simple, like in this game, very well done right here. Next up, I really like that there's a bit of variety to the gameplay. Yes, you still need to dodge, but at least you need to dodge different things that look differently. That's definitely something I have to do in my own game as well. Adding a bit more variety, because that just keeps it interesting, even if it doesn't feel that different from a gameplay perspective. Just seeing different things and reacting to them in slightly different ways and interacting with them in slightly different ways. That's what keeps your game fresh, and that's what keeps your game interesting. Then my last positive is a short one, because I'm slowly running out of ideas. I just say it has a lot of levels. You can probably play for a long time, and when you're through with that, there's even an endless mode, so it probably has a lot of play time. I think you can play this for a really long time if you really want to. So I guess it's a good idea to have that. Let's go to the negatives, because let's be honest, in the current state of the game, I would not continue playing this, and here's why. First of all, there's a really annoying glitch with the controls. In this example, I keep the right hand side pressed, or lower side in this case, and it still keeps moving a little bit. It keeps circling forward, and that causes you to lose so many times. It happened to me quite frequently. This is not the only example. Obviously you stop as close as possible to the obstacles, so it's easier to go through them. And then if you go even a little tiny bit forward and it causes you to lose, it's so annoying. So yeah, the main takeaway, make sure your core mechanics, your core gameplay works absolutely flawlessly. Especially in a simplistic game like this, because that's pretty much the only thing you have. The good news, shouldn't be that hard to fix. I think you can fix that. There are too many ads, bro. Too much advertisement. It's really annoying. I totally understand that you need to monetize your app, but I don't even think this is the best way to do it, because if there are that many ads, I won't keep playing your game, and in the end that will probably result in me seeing even fewer ads. I also can't recommend your game, because I think it's annoying, which once again, they would watch ads as well, and maybe they would recommend the game, and then those people would watch ads as well. So I think being that annoying with ads is neither good for the customer nor for you. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I think you really have something cool here and I want you to succeed. That's why I'm gonna give you a little secret hack that you can use. Disable ads for the first 30 minutes of gameplay. This way people can get invested in your game without seeing annoying ads and instantly getting pissed off at you. And then once they are invested in your game, once they like your game, then you can start showing them ads. But showing them ads when they're really just getting used to your game, when they're just getting started, is a really bad idea. I think they'll just drop out and never touch your game again, or at least honestly that's what I would do. I have never made a serious amount of money with games in my entire life, so don't believe what I'm saying, but that's just my opinion. Do not monetize too aggressively. Next up, you can buy skins with in-game currency that you can also get by playing the game or by watching ads. I didn't buy any skins, honestly they were too expensive. But the even bigger issue for me personally is that I don't even want to have them, because as I see it, those are just skins for my 2 little player characters. And I don't really care how they look, if they're a star or a circle, I couldn't care less. And yes, sure, you can say, yeah, if you don't want to buy anything here, then just don't. But I just wanted to let you know that this does not do a good job at motivating me at all. It would be a lot more interesting if those skins changed more than just the sprites of the players, for example, the color scheme or the background music, some additional particle effects. If they just had a bigger impact, I would be much more interested in them. And also, I think the first skins should be a little easier to obtain, because once again you're trying to get the player invested, and that is much easier if they own a couple of skins. Once again, I feel like this is mostly here to make me watch more ads, but then also it doesn't really do a good job at it because I don't want to have that stuff. If there was cooler stuff in your shop, I would be much more willing to watch ads for it or even pay real money. So the main takeaway is, if you want to incentivize people to a certain kind of behavior, you need to give them a reward that they are interested in. Let's talk about the monetization a little more, because I think that was one of the biggest issues I had with the game. As I've said, I totally understand that you need to monetize your game. That's why you made it in the first place, and that's totally fine. You made a cool game and I think you deserve to make money with it. So what's the best way to go about this? Maybe some of my viewers have some ideas, so post that in the comments, but here's one of my suggestions what you could do. So the 3 steps that you need to go through is getting players, keeping the players, and monetizing the players. The first one, getting new players, is the most difficult one. I guess you'll just have to spend a little more time on that. Search the entire internet, find everybody who's interested in your game, find communities that are interested in casual mobile games. Search for similar games and for people who played similar games. Just try your best. I don't know what to tell you, I don't have that much experience. It's literally the hardest part, especially for mobile games. And then what we talked about in this video was mainly about keeping the players. If you annoy them with too many ads, they will be gone and they will no longer help you with monetizing and growing your game. So here's my suggestion. You don't need to do this. This is just what I would have done, I think. Make the endless mode free and make the first chapter of the campaign free. After that, just sell a level pack. You know, if you want to play the rest of the levels, you need to pay $2. And if you don't want to do that, cool, you can still play endless. And maybe you can compete on a high score there or something like that. Don't know if that's the perfect monetization model for this game. It's a really tricky one. Another good option would also just be offering cool things in the shop that people actually want to have, and then ask them to pay a couple of bucks for that, or watch some ads. So yeah, please leave your ideas in the comments, check out the game, the link is in the description. This is a YouTube channel about game development and game design. I currently document the entire process of creating a video game, so if you're interested in that, check it out. There's gonna be more stuff like this. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Double Dodgers. Really hope the game succeeds, hope it does well, and hope this was a little helpful for everybody who was watching. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, have an amazing day, make the world your playground, and see you in the next one. Peace.